Hi everyone, and welcome to another video, which again is going to be another one of my issues that I need to try and resolve. So on a previous video, it was my outrun video, I showed the fact that I'm using MAME bezels and not rocket launcher bezels. So let me just load the game up straight from rocket launcher with the MAME bezel, and I'll quickly explain the problem again. So the issue I have is actually with frame skipping. So what we're actually seeing here is a MAME bezel, and what I've had to do is draw the gear shifter, which as you can see works as I move up and down, and implement it into the bezel itself. Now that's not a problem, which is great, I can do that, but with some games I've not been able to find the code that enables the gear shifter to actually work. So I can draw it, but I can't actually make it do anything. It obviously just makes it more difficult when playing driving games that need a gear shifter. Other than that, it's no biggie. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to add on the frames rate, which as you can see at the top, pretty much static the whole time, and it's absolutely fine. So let's just turn that off. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the MAME bezel, and I'm going to add the shifter. So you can't, now this is why it's a problem, because you can't have a MAME bezel and the shifter on the screen at the same time, obviously unless you do what I've done and actually coded it in. So once I select the shifter, I've got the shifter now, this is MAME shifter, but no bezel. So let me just exit the game and add the rocket launcher bezel so that you can still see the MAME shifter, which enables you to then run any driving game with a gear shifter and still show the bezel. So we'll add the bezel. And now we'll relaunch the game. So what you'll now see is the rocket launcher bezel, which looks exactly the same, and the main gear shifter will be underneath. Okay. So there we go, we've now got the rocket launcher bezel and we have got the main gear shifter clearly visible underneath. So it immediately resolves the problem on any game with a gear shifter of having to code in the gear shifter. But let's just look at the problem. You won't actually hear it so much with outrun, although I'll try and replicate it, but let's add the frame skipping. Just look at it. It's skipping all over the place. So when music is playing, and if I just start a game, get ready. You can hear it skipping. So it's just shifting all over the place. And again, maybe not so bad on this game, but on other games you can really hear the music dipping and dipping. There we go, you hear it shifting again. So that will happen repeatedly throughout a game and obviously just ruins the gameplay purely because of all the frame skipping. Now, it only happens when I add the rocket launcher bezels. So my question is, why is it I get frame skipping when I add rocket launcher bezels? MAME bezels, completely fine. So if I turn off the frame skipping, stop the game, take off the rocket launcher bezel, relaunch the game, pop the MAME bezel back on again. So this is where I've added the shifter in with a bit of coding. Put the frame skipping back on again and we can see it's perfect. You might get the odd tiny little dip, but it's absolutely perfect. So there we go. Answers in the comments please if you know how I prevent frame skipping when I add rocket launcher bezels instead of MAME bezels. Now I can solve the problem by setting the frame skipping to a certain level, but every game is different, so of course I'd need to set it for every single game, which is just, yeah, it's not doable. So if you know how I can resolve this issue, I would be very grateful for your answers. Once again, thank you for watching.